Well people, I know I said I wasn't going to make another video on this teaser. However, I actually missed a lot in the last episode, and since the last episode, the Poppy Playtime community has revealed much more than I could have seen in the last video. And there is one thing that either I'm going to sound really stupid for talking about, because it turns out everyone was talking about it and I just missed it, or I'm going to seem quite clever because no one's talked about it and no one's made the link yet. So let's get into what I missed. Now this is the page we got last week, was it? We are now just 11 days away from the next teaser. And so far we've got a decent amount actually for a first teaser, like a whole Steam page with images of the game. And I mentioned last episode that this rope here looks a little bit out of place, almost as if it's going to be a gameplay feature. And you can see a rope here across a gap, and I think there's another one there. So this is almost definitely going to be a gameplay feature, and they kind of look like windows up here, like this one still got its glass in, but maybe this one's smashed and we can climb the rope across here. But the most important thing to know about these two images here is they link very much to Chapter 3. These walls look exactly like the ones used in the school in Chapter 3. The same chairs, the same doors. And in my first video, I thought this might have been the canteen that we see the door to in Chapter 1. Because obviously in Project Playtime, we got to see the theatre, which you can see the door to in Chapter 1. And maybe I was thinking this time they're going to add a map in, which is going to be the canteen. But with these walls linking to the school, I think it's obvious that this is the canteen, the cafeteria, the lunch area for the school. This image looks fairly normal. There's not too much here. This little ramp here reminds me of this room in Chapter 4. I know this is a massive stretch, but this could be a gameplay feature maybe. I mean, like, it's in yellow, the rest of this room has nothing to do with that, so maybe. I can't see any buttons or screens or puzzles that we had in like Chapter 4 that we might have to do here. And then this room, it's quite dark, but we can see a switch down here, which I mentioned last episode, so we're probably gonna have to turn lights on. There's speakers here, which, you know, that's gonna be an intercom. There might be someone talking over the intercom telling us what to do. But this is a whole area that we have not seen before. Like, it's underground. I mentioned last time this looks like similar rock that we see surrounding the Better Place, so maybe it's in a similar area, we don't know. And then this is the big one, and I can't believe that I missed this because this is blindingly obvious. Now, in the last episode, I looked on the tags and I made the link to the game possibly being in the 1980s. I think it still could be, but these are just user-defined tags. These aren't tags set by Mob Entertainment. Someone pointed this out in my comment section, so thank you for telling me that. But it could still be in the 1980s, 1990s, we don't know. We'll probably find out over the next couple of weeks. But I thought we might be playing as toys, trying to prove ourselves to the prototype to get into a Better Place. Now, for that to make sense, I think that would have to take place after the Hour of Joy. But if this game is in the 1980s, then that's not gonna be the case. However, I suppose the prototype was all planning this before the Hour of Joy took place, but realistically, this image kind of proves me right a little bit. Now, you can see them here for shadows. Now, if I brighten this image up, we can see the shadows a little bit more clearly, and they look exactly like smiling critters. So, I was kind of right about playing as toys, which is pretty cool because last time we played as the players, employees in Playtime Co, working for the factory, doing tasks. Now we get to play as the toys, and we're going to be the smiling critters, which is, I think, a pretty good idea. Obviously, we've seen the smiling critters a lot. Maybe it would be good if we have a little bit of a range of characters, maybe not just the smiling critters. Definitely have smiling and nightmare critters, but we could probably Actually, the wrong side Outimals wouldn't have been made yet because the prototype did that after the Hour of Joy. But there was I mean, the smiling critters probably weren't just the only small toys. I mean, there was, you know, thousands, hundreds of experiments in the factory. So I kind of want to see a little bit more than the smiling critters. Maybe that's a chance for Mob to introduce a new character like they did with Boxy Boo in Project Playtime. But I mentioned that this elevation area, and especially with the shadows of the 4 critters in here, this looks like the area where we might start the game. We'll start one of the maps at least, because I think Project Playtime had, what, 4 maps maybe? And obviously we've got this underground area, this area which might link to the underground area, but also we've got the school as well. But going back to this lit up image, there's code along this side, and when we see binary code like this is just shouting ARG. And this is where we get on to the title and the thumbnail of the video. Now, you didn't miss this. You didn't miss this at all. I missed it. I can't remember what this binary translates to, but I'll put it up on screen now. Anyway, we have the binary, and this is obvious that they're probably starting the ARG for this game. Project Playtime had one. All of the Poppy Playtime games have had an ARG to build hype before the game releases. But I want to take your attention to the banner of this Steam page. Now, we don't have to worry about Barry. I mean, Barry, he seems like a pretty important character for this game. Actually, I want to show you something else that I found. There is a Poppy Playtime wiki for this Steam page, and we can go down here and we can go to characters, and it does have characters Barry, but with characters Barry in the game, I don't think we're going to get to play as Barry. That'd be that would be interesting. Hang on a minute, those recent images there, wait a second. I'm getting sidetracked, but it looks similar to this room here. I'll get to the main point of the video in a second, but in this video here, I talked about maybe we could get up into the room where they watch the kids play all the mini games in the game station. And in musical memory, we was being recorded with a camera, and I made theory like, okay, well, the files for that recording is got to be somewhere. It's probably up there, and if we can get up there, then we can see the files on a computer and see who the player really is. Hey, could we be finding out identity of, okay, maybe not the player, I mean possibly the player, but of someone in this room. It's a big link, but we'll see, we'll find out. Anyway, sorry for sidetracking. I will get to the main point of the video now. I want to look at these numbers here, 8, 26, 26. This is probably the official starting date of the ARG, if it's not started already. I think it has. I think this is the beginning of it. I think a lot of people think it is too. But I need to cast your minds back to the beginning of Chapter 5's ARG. We are scrolling all the way back to the 14th of January 2026 at 6 p.m. BST, where we got this image. Now, this image here actually turned out to be hints for the coming weeks. We got showed a couple tapes with Catnap here. We've got his, what do you call it, like medallion necklace kind of thing here. We got the notebook written by PW, who we found out was Preston Willard. I don't know if we ever found out about this image here. I think someone thought they saw Morse code in it at the beginning, but I can't quite remember. And then we see Bronze Leg down here with blood splattered, and that's obviously this scene from the final VHS tape that we saw, which I believe was this black one in the middle. Now, if we look at this tape here, it's got the triangle, it's got the same pattern, and it's got the Playtime Co logo in the middle. And if we look here, you know, triangle, you can just about see Playtime Co in between this 6 and 2 here. And it's the same texture, like it's a tape underneath this thing. I mean, I've brightened this image up quite a lot, and you can clearly see the Playtime Co sign here, and even the little tape itself, which we can see right here. And this was the starting image for Chapter 5's ARG. It's not the exact same tape, it's not got the same video on it, the same VHS on it, but it's still a black tape. So I think at some point, probably the end of this ARG for the new multiplayer game, we will get a VHS tape with lore, with teasers for the new game, like locations, possibly a gameplay feature. But overall, this is the start of the next Poppy Playtime ARG. I hope the gap isn't as big for the rest of the teasers as we've had for this one and the one that's going to come out on the 26th of this month, just 11 days away. So hopefully we get something on the 26th, and then we get a 5-week build up or something around that period of time, a couple more weeks after that, and then the game releases. I actually look at the calendar. How many weeks until it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There'd be 6 weeks after this date here until October. And you know, October, Halloween month and all that. And it's Poppy Playtime, it's a horror game. It makes sense. So the game could possibly be dropping in October. And if it is, that would be insane. Two games in, well, 1 year. Anyway, that's pretty much all the news we have on the new multiplayer game so far. And I think the ARG has started. On the 26th, I think that's when hype is going to start to kick in. Especially the next teaser after that. If the next teaser is like a week away from the previous teaser. That's all I've got to say. Like, sub, all the good stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!